Okay, hello dear students. Thank you for joining to this class. The topic for this class is healthy environment and relative clauses. My name is Dario Enríquez. I will be your teacher for these 5 classes. Thank you for joining again for these classes. The principal objective for this class is use relative clauses to describe people, objects, and events, and also identify vocabulary about air resources. Okay, first I will share link. I wanna that practice vocabulary. I wanna know what is your knowledge about this vocabulary, right? In the chat box, I will share a link and a code. Please enter to this link and enter the code. Okay. Please tell me if you can access to the quiz. Okay, did you enter to the quiz? Are you there? Okay. Let's start, please. Please put your name. Put your name in order to know how you did the quiz. How you did the quiz, please. Okay. Let's start. How was the quiz? It was hard, it was easy. Now let me see how was the quiz for, okay. 50% okay, 50% is wrong. I think so. We need to, okay. Okay, thank you so much. Now we will review about this vocabulary. We will use flashcards. It's about the same topic. Please, who can help me with read this flashcard? It's about the same topic. It's about air resources. Please, Melanie, can you help me reading this flashcard, please?
Okay, records that takes millions of years to form.
Okay, what do you think? What is a resource that takes millions of years to form? Maybe it's under the earth. Okay,
I don't know much. I don't
let's
know.
see. It is, it's called non-renewable resources. All non-renewable resources take a lot of time, like petroleum, like oil, right? This is take a lot of time under the earth to form in order to obtain for fuel oil. The next one, Daibet. Can you read this flashcard? Try. Doesn't matter if you don't can't read. Try to read, Daibet. Please activate your microphone. I can hear you. No, okay, you are a little bit shy. Please listen.
A resource that is virtually inexhaustible or that can be replenished over relatively short time spans.
What do you think is a resource that is virtually inexhaustible? What do you think, David? No? It's renewable resource. It's the opposite and non-renewable resource, right? Because renewable can, how the name says, renew, and we can use on the time. What do you think about renewable resource? What is a renewable resource for you, Sarai?
Is the resource can be replaced because for example, the water, air.
Yes, air, sun, very good. Thank you so much. And now, can you help me to read this flashcard, Sarai?
General term for any hydrocarbon that may be used as a fuel, including coal, oil, and natural gas.
Yes, what do you think it is the word for this? Is fossil fuel. Let me see.
Fossil fuel.
Fossil fuel. Right? Let's check the definition. General term for any hydrocarbon that may be used as a fuel, including coal, oil, and natural gas. It's fossil fuel, right? The next one. Maritza, are you there? Can you read this flashcard, please, Maritza?
Yes, the power generated by falling water.
Okay, what is the power generated by falling water? What do you think is the answer for this definition, Maritza? No, is hydroelectric power, right? Is hydroelectric power. The next one is, this can be a little bit difficult, this one. Let's say again with Melanie. Please read this flashcard.
Okay. Energy that can be extracted from Earth's internal heat, for example, natural steam used for power generation.
Okay.
Energy that can be extracted from Earth's internal heat, for example, natural steam used for power generation.
What do you think is this one? From the Earth's internal. Did you hear about this one?
Geothermal energy.
Geothermal energy is the volcan, right? It's in geothermal energy. It's close to the volcanoes and it uses for energy. Okay, the next one. This is easy. I think it's cannot be easy. Please, David. David, can you read this one?
The careful use of resources.
Okay, the careful use of resources. What is the careful or use of resources? This conservation, right? Did you know about conservation the resources? The next one is Sarai, please.
The collecting and processing of used items so they can be made into new products.
Okay, what is that? What do you think? That you collect, for example, bottles, so you collect paper, and you use this one to create another products. What is called that? For example, the plastic bottles. In the college, maybe you collect the plastic bottles and use to create maybe a bowl, I don't know. It's called recycling, right? Recycling. Very good. This is a word that is known in agriculture, right? This is partly decomposed organic material that is used as fertilizer, right? This is called compost, right? Compost. Another word is, okay, another word is, this is very important term that is used a lot for problems in the earth, in the planet, for contamination or pollution, right? This is the increase in average temperatures of air and the atmosphere due in part to increased carbon dioxide levels. What is called this one? Who can help me? What is this? This definition is for Melanie, maybe, David, Sarai.
Tal vez calentamiento global.
Yes, it's this, but how do you say that in English?
I don't know, I don't remember.
Global warming.
Yes, very good. Global warming. Very good, Sarai. Thank you so much. You are right. This one is, well, okay, we already finished. Thank you for your collaboration for this activity. Now we'll start to study the next one, which is the topic for this class, which is relative clauses, right? Relative clauses is the grammar for this class. Relative clauses are sentences that we use to give an extra information, right? This is used to give extra information for maybe an previous information. For this relative clause, we need to use a relative pronouns. The relative pronouns are who, which, that, and where, right? Now we have some examples. We have another definition. In this case, we say use relative clauses to identify or give information about nouns, right? This is used to give an extra information for noun. In the sentences that you have, maybe you need to provide an extra information. How I say we need to use the relative pronouns who, which, that, and where. When we use the relative pronouns who, when we need to talk about people. The relative pronoun which we use to talk about objects and animals. The relative pronoun that we use for everything, for people, animals, things. And the relative pronoun where we use to talk about places, right? Okay, let's move on to some examples. About who, relative pronoun who, how I say is for people, we have this example. The people live in the city. In this case, we have two sentences, right? How you can see, we have two sentences. The first one is the people live in the city. And we have another sentence that say the people don't recycle, right? Here we use the vocabulary that I already learned. Okay, in this case, we use relative clauses to join the sentences. We have two sentences. And now we join these two sentences in just one sentence. How? Using relative pronouns, but we are talking about people, how I say. That's why we use the relative pronoun who, right? The people who live in the city don't recycle. How you can see, we use the relative pronouns to join the sentences. The people, we need to repeat again the people, right? We replace or we use the relative pronoun who, right? The people who live in the city don't recycle, right? The next one is for places. It's the same. We have two sentences. We visited a place. The other sentences, people dispose of their garbage in that place. We use the relative pronoun where, or we can use that. But it is important that you learn with the relative pronoun where, because of that is using for everything, right? And we have some examples and some quizzes that just you have who or where, right? It is important that you identify that who is using for people and where is used for places. In this case, the example is we visited a place where we are talking about the place. People dispose of their garbage. Okay. Another example is with the pronoun, relative pronoun that. That we use for things. And how you know what another relative pronoun we can use for things? Maybe Sarai, Melanie, you know another relative pronoun that we can use.
What or that?
Which, exactly. Which for things, right? Or animals. This is another relative pronoun, which or that. Very good. Now we have some examples over here. Please, David, can you read the first example?
That is the woman who stole my coat.
My coat. Okay, that is the woman who stole my coat. Why we use the relative pronoun who? Why we use Sarai, Melanie, Daibedo, Maritza? Why we use the relative pronoun who?
Because
The people.
The people.
woman.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Because we are talking about the woman, right? Because we are talking about the woman who is a person, who is a people. Right. The next one, that is the man that I spoke to last week. One another relative pronouns we can use in these sentences. One another, because we are talking about that. We are talking about a person, but we use that. One another
Who?
relative pronoun. Exactly, very good. Where is the apple that I told you to not to eat? Where is the apple? We are talking about the apple in this sentence, right? And that's why we use that. The next one is, this is the cat. How I say we can use which or that for things or animals. This is the cat which I adopted, right? How you can see, we use a relative pronoun or relative clause to provide an extra information, right? And the last one, the last example that I have here is the hospital where I was born is being knocked down. Why we use where?
For places.
Yeah, because we are talking about the place that I was born, right? In this case is the hospital. Okay, now we have another examples, but I wanna show these examples exactly. This one, the boy whose parents both work as a teacher at the school started a fire in the classroom. Why we use these relative pronouns whose? Who knows about that? Who can help me with this answer?
Because we talk about the boy.
Yeah, but what is the difference between who and whose?
Whose? I think that the meaning was a quién in who, quién.
It's like whose is like the possessive, right? The possessive. We are talking about the parents of the boy, right? The parents of the boy. We are not talking about just the boy. We are talking about the parents. That's why I say the boy whose parents, so the parents of the boy, right? And when we use who, just we are talking about the Einstein in this case. Einstein, who was born in Germany, we are talking about the Albert Einstein. And in this case, we are talking about the parents of the boy, right? It's a possessive. And this is the difference, right? Okay, now we have an exercise that I wanted that you can help me to do. Okay, we are start with Sarai. We need to join how I saw in the examples before. We need to join the sentences. We have two sentences that we need to join in just one sentence, right? please read the sentences and think a little bit about how we can join the sentence. Okay.
There are no renewable resources such as fuel and minerals. They cannot be replaced after removed from the earth.
Okay, but we need to join in one sentence using relative pronoun, relative clauses. Right? We need to use like the example, right? In the example we have the earth is a huge storehouse. The point, there is a great supply of natural resources in the earth. And in order to join the both sentences, we use the relative clauses with the relative pronouns where, because we are talking about the earth. The earth is a huge storehouse where there is a great supply of natural resources, right? You can see that we join the both sentences in just one sentence using the relative clause with the relative pronoun where, right? That's the same we need to do in these examples, right? Please.
So, there are non-renewable resources such as fuel and minerals. There cannot be replaced after removed from the earth.
Okay, you can use that or you can use which one? Okay, this is the answer, right? We can use that. Okay, there are not renewable resources such as fuels and minerals that we use the relative pronoun that in order to create a relative clause cannot be replaced after remove, right? From there, we use the relative pronoun that. The next one, the next sentence, Melanie, please.
Yeah. Pete is a geologist who studies the soil and teaches. ¿Cómo se pronuncia? Perdón. Search of the earth records.
Earth resources. Very good. You are right. Pete is a geologist who studies the soil and searches for earth resources. Very good. The next one will be David. Try to do, doesn't matter. Okay, read the sentences, okay?
Natural resource, where there are tons of minerals and plant life in the ocean.
Very good, very good. Where? Because we are talking about the place, the ocean. Very good. The ocean is a rich natural resource where there are tons of minerals and plant life. And the last one, Maritza, you are there?
Yes. If those men are miners, they part their lives are rights working under the ground.
Okay, but we need to use a relative pronoun. What relative pronoun we use for those men?
Those men are miners who they put their lives at risk working under the ground.
Very good. Thank you so much. We can use who because we are talking about the men's person or people. And also we can use that. Very good. And now we need the last activity, which is a very easy activity, is a quiz. Yes, we need to, it's very easy, I think so. Now, please help me, Sarai. what is the answer for this question? The man was speaking to us was very tall.
The man who was speaking to us was very tall.
Very good. The next one, Melanie.
Yeah. The woman who bought the dress did not.
Very good. Who? The next one, the people. This is a little bit difficult. Let me see. We talk about this example. Maybe Sarai, can you help me with this example?
The people which fight was cancelled were upset.
Okay, maybe we can use which, or maybe we can use whose fly, because it's the flight of the people, right? Is the flight is the flight of the people. The people whose flight, the flight of the people was canceled. We are talking about that was canceled, right? That's why we need to use whose, because we are talking about the flight. The people whose flight was canceled were upset, right? The next one, Daibet.
Do you know any John the which speakers have Japanese?
When I say anyone, what is the meaning anyone? We are talking about place, thing, person.
Which?
But my question is, when we talk about anyone, when you say anyone, we are talking about person, thing. Okay, we are talking about person. That's why in this case is that or who, right? Okay. Okay, just a summary for the class. We talk about the relative clauses, how I say the relative clause we use to give extra information, how we already studied. For example, that's the woman who bought my house. The extra information is bought my house. How we study, we can use the relative clauses with the relative pronouns who, with person, which, or that, with things, where. We can use for places. How I study this one whose, we can use for possession. How I say, when is the, for example, the flight of the people is a possession, right? The mother whose child, we are talking about the child of this mother, right? This is the class for today. Thank you so much. Maybe do you have any question? Do you have any question? Okay. As a homework that I need that you write 3 examples using a relative clauses, but also using the vocabulary that we already learned, right? This is the homework for the next class. Thank you for joining to this class. Thank you for your attention. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.